Hey guys, Demon here. This is the intro, not the actual video, but hope you enjoy it. Hey guys, Demon here, doing a little review on two things, two trailers. The first one is a Steven Universe season 5 sneak peek trailer, I think, from Comic-Con, if I'm not mistaken. I found it on a YouTube video because I didn't go to Comic-Con, obviously. So I will link these two trailers in the description below on the YouTube video that I found them. So on the YouTube videos, I should say, YouTube videos. So the first one is about season 5, and the second one is an episode. So let's get into the first one though, about season 5, like this little sneak peek of season 5, which is really interesting to see. Okay, so let me see if I can remember everything that happens in this episode. So it seems like Steven comes home in this, let's see, not episode, I guess, in this trailer. So it seems like, it's about Steven, and there's Connie in it, obviously. And it seems like it has Greg in it. It seems like it involves Greg a lot more, and that Greg, talks a lot more in this one. Like, he wants to know more about Homeworld, and he asks the gems about it. And Pearl says there's stuff that she can't explain, like, that they would never understand sort of thing, which is kind of weird. And there's a few flashbacks in it. At least we saw one flashback. It seems at one point Connie gets upset at Steven, and Sadie is really, really upset because Lars is gone. And Homeworld is coming because Lapis is terrified because Steven ran away from the diamonds. And she's like, Homeworld's gonna come and like take their anger out on the world again, just like they did before. So Homeworld's coming somehow. And it seems like they did show like previews of like ships coming and stuff like that, and like shooting other ships at the Earth. But we don't know if that's fully yet, because it's just like clips put together, obviously. And it seems like Lapis doesn't want to fight and she wants to leave. And Peridot says, like, this is our new home, isn't it worth fighting for? And Lapis leaves. There's two scenes in it that I will show you right now. Here's the picture of Peridot saying, are you, like, this is our home now, like, are you sure you don't want to fight for it? And this is a picture of Lapis looking back sadly. And I think this is when Lapis leaves. But then this picture of Lapis, I think this picture is when Lapis comes back and fights. So I think Lapis at first is going to be afraid and run away because like, she was trapped and stuff. So obviously that happened. But this picture of Lapis makes it look like she comes back and fights. Although this picture is before those other two pictures, but this is like clips put together, you know. And it seems like Connie gets upset for some reason in this. And it seems like Sadie's going to be involved in one of the action scenes because she's running away from the explosion, maybe. It just seems really interesting to see this, and there's gonna be some background. There's gonna be some flashbacks. That's what it's called. It just seems like this really gonna be really interesting to see. But anyways, let's move on to the second trailer, which is an episode with Lars. Okay, so this trailer for this episode of Steven Universe Lars, it seems that Lars is a complete another badass now. I don't know why, it just seems like he is. He's just like a badass. He steals a spaceship and now he's a captain of his own starship crew. It kind of reminds me of Star Trek, but like a more comedy-based Star Trek, obviously. It's pretty awesome to see. It's pretty hilarious. Sorry, people are making noise right now. Rude people. But anyways, this whole thing is really badass. And this ship, I'm pretty sure we see his ship in the first trailer. Like the first season trailer for the whole season. And it's crashing down to a planet. I don't know if it's Earth or not, but he's crashing down to a planet. But anyways, let's get back to this trailer. So this episode sounds pretty funny. It seems pretty funny too because there's a point in it where the alien girl, like the evil gem, is talking to Lars, and it seems like he impersonated an officer. He stole her ship. He crash landed her ship. So it seems like he has kind of like a backstory with her almost, where to the point where he was like really an asshole to her. Like he was just like a douchebag, but somehow he got into her rank somehow. I don't really know how that can happen because he doesn't look like a girl. Although I guess some gems don't look like girls, right? And I don't know how that happened because he doesn't have a gem in the first place, but whatever, I guess. Somehow he infiltrated their ranks. He got in. He stole the ship, and he stole their fastest ship at the end. He crashed her ship. And it seems like she's pretty pissed off, so she might be she's like one of the villains, I guess. Which is really interesting, really funny. It just seems like a fun episode to see. It just seems like a really fun episode to see. And Lars is kind of a badass now. I gotta say, one of my least favorite characters to now this episode makes me think like, oh, maybe he's gonna be one of my more favorite characters because he's one of my least favorite characters ever. And then the last episode, like the last few episodes, he started to redeem himself in my eyes, at least, and I started to go like, huh, that's pretty good. But now that he's like a total badass, and it's like pretty funny, he might be like one of my more favorite characters now because that's pretty awesome. Lars is a spaceship captain. That's a badass. But anyways, that's my review on these like little two things. As I said, they'll be in the description down below. I hope you liked this review. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and share. And as always, my friends, stay sane. Peace. And bingo bongo. Hey guys, this is the outro. Just want to remind you that if you want to subscribe, you can press the circle, or if you want to watch another video, you can press the square. And also, if you like the video, give a like, leave a comment, share it. As always, my friends, stay sane.